It's time to get all set for Sunday, a podcast for busy and distracted Catholics with your hosts, Scott Williams and Jeff Traylor. When I hear the coffee brewing, I think, what the heck we doing? Because I got barely any sleep last night. As the diaper bag I pack with Hot Wheels dollies and some snacks, I say a prayer there'll be a seat in the crime room this time. It's alright, cause I'm all set for Sunday. It's alright, cause I'm all set for. It's alright, cause I'm all set for. It's alright, cause I'm all set for Sunday.
Welcome to All Set for Sunday, a podcast for busy and distracted Catholics to be a little more prepared for Sunday Mass. And I am not your host, Scott Williams, to those listening, thinking, wait, what's going on? Who let Jeff talk this quick? I am your co-host, Jeff Traylor. But we are jumping on here for my first solo pod.
No, you're not solo. I'm your co-host.
Not solo. I still have my lovely guest with me. But first time I've ever recorded on my own. Scott's done a few, but the first time I've recorded without him.
I'll just be more of a co-host this week instead of a guest.
Yeah,
how's that?
Yeah. We'll just ask a mystery ghost to answer questions about the gospel.
Sure. I could interview you.
We are joined by Father Christian Raab. Father Christian, thank you for joining us. I know
good to be here.
You mentioned you're feeling a little under the weather, but I appreciate you making the time for us anyway.
We're good.
How's that beautiful weather down there in Jasper, Indiana?
We love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it, but I have to be very careful. I feel like it's like if I were a Patriots fan in Indianapolis, like I'm rooting for the wrong team. Everybody around here hates the winter. And I love it, so I just got to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, that's that lake effect kid in you. You can't shake it. Yeah. No, it's just the two of us today. For those following at home, Scott, my co-host, Scott and Elizabeth welcomed their fourth child into the world last week, baby Leo Thomas. So we'll talk about him a little bit at the end of the podcast. But Scott is at home resetting on being a baby dad. And
congratulations.
It's great. And he keeps sending me pictures. And he asked me if I have questions about work, and I'm like, I would like more baby pictures, please. So
what's the name again?
Leo Thomas.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought you'd be a fan.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Good. But on to the podcast.
Sure.
The thing, I know people really want to just hear the two of us chat.
I feel responsible to help ramble.
Yes, you are the banter king when not listening.
I feel responsible to help ramble this week.
But we always have to worry about if you're able to skip through
you from what you're supposed to be doing.
We worry about it. You're the one we're always worried about skipping through this part of the podcast. But when you're on here, we get you full bore. So
sure.
But I'm going to jump into the 2-minute drill here. It is the fifth Sunday in Ordinary Time. Our first reading comes from Isaiah chapter 58. So Isaiah makes it painfully practical to us in here of what real worship looks like. He says, it's sharing your bread, it's welcoming the poor, it's clothing the naked, it's refusing to ignore people in need. And it's God is saying to us, if you want to let your light shine, stop hoarding it. Don't hold it all in. We have to get out. We have to welcome those. We have to share what we have with other people. Now, when justice and mercy show up in daily life, then is when the darkness will be lifted and God's presence becomes unmistakable. So it's this lived holiness that Isaiah is talking about and is calling us to do.
It sounds like you're preaching.
What was that?
You're preaching.
Well, thank you. I'm trying. The responsorial psalm this week is the just man is a light in darkness to the upright, or Alleluia. I would say not a banger. This one doesn't roll off the tongue, but
no, this is a mumbler.
Yeah, just man is a light in the darkness to the upright. At least it rhymes a little bit.
Well, you know how many people are going to turn that 2 into a 4?
That is a great call. I do that all the time in responses.
So the just man is a light in the darkness for the upright. Half the people will be saying 4 and half will be saying 2.
For the upright. Not those who are hunching over, but only the upright.
And the other, and then there'll be people who can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Because it has too many words. All right, sorry.
It's all right. And then there'll be a lot of churches that just don't do it at all. And they just go with, the Lord hears the cry of the poor. That'll be the responsorial psalm in a bunch of churches.
I'm for it.
Our second reading then comes from Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 2, So Paul reminds the Corinthians and us here that he didn't come with flashy speeches or mic drops. Instead, he showed up to talk about Jesus Christ crucified. Period. End of story. That's how he showed up. That's how he's here. It's simple, it's humble, probably unimpressive by the worldly standards, but overly impressive in the spiritual world. So faith would not rest on human wisdom, but on the power of God. That weakness isn't a bug in the system. That's the whole point, that we are weak and we must be humbled in that, but we need to turn to the power of God and turn to Jesus Christ crucified in our lives. And then our gospel reading. Our gospel comes from Matthew chapter 5, 13 to 16. Jesus said to his disciples, "You are the salt of the earth, but if salt loses its taste, with what can it be seasoned? It is no longer good for anything, but to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A city set on a mountain cannot be hidden, nor do they light a lamp, then put it under a bushel basket. It is set on a lampstand, where it gives light to all the house. Just so, your light must shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your heavenly Father." Well, there's great news here, Father. In a week where I was like, man, what am I going to do without like Scott to bounce back and forth off of? We just got like the banger of all banger gospels here. Like this one's it is good. It's short, it's sweet, but man, does it hit us with a lot of depth. So are you I'm assuming you're preaching at St. Joseph's this weekend? Awesome. So what do you think you're going to be preaching on?
Well, okay. I really like this gospel. I want to think about how it connects to everything that we've heard in like the last 8 weeks.
Okay. Oh, that's all.
So we're in this
no salt, no light, no bushel baskets for you.
Okay, like in the liturgical year, right? You got Lent, you got Easter, and then you got your what we often call Big O, big ordinary time.
Big ordinary time.
Yeah, and that's that takes us through the summer and the fall, and then we have Advent and Christmas and Epiphany, and then we have Little O. And Little O, it's sort of ordinary time. It's also in a way it's Epiphany season.
Yeah,
because we have the Epiphany, the Feast of the Epiphany, which is, of course, like the wise men, and bringing the gifts to Christ, way back in January, a month ago. And then, but people associate the Epiphany not only with that scene, but of course with the baptism of the Lord.
Yeah.
And
which is the next week, right?
So right, which is the next week, even though it's ordinary time. But it's
technically Little O.
And it's technically Little O. And then there's also the miracle at Cana, which is...
Heard of it.
It's considered an Epiphany mystery. And so the liturgy for Epiphany includes references to the miracle at Cana.
Why is it considered an Epiphany mystery? What does that mean?
Well, this is all really fascinating. Because these are the mysteries in which Christ is revealed. Revealed to the world. And so not just born into the world, but that the world comes to know that its Savior is among us. And
you just said that, and I experienced an epiphany. I audibly was
there you go. Right?
And then I was wait a second. I make this joke about the epiphany all the time.
Yeah. So you think about how on the wise men coming, it's the idea that it's being revealed to the world, almost as an anticipation, because from then he goes into the hidden life, right? So it's just this little moment, but it's a revelation to the whole world represented by the wise men. And then the baptism of the Lord is really when Jesus begins his public ministry. And then the wedding at Cana is, of course, the first miracle, right? Now, I think it's really interesting that baptism of the Lord and the wedding at Cana are also two of the luminous mysteries. Right? So
that's enlightening.
Yes, it's very fascinating, right? So these are two of the luminous mysteries. And you think about, well, what is the luminous mysteries? And then the third luminous mystery is the proclamation of the kingdom of God. It's against us Jesus announcing something to the world, that he has come here to bring something. The Transfiguration, Jesus is revealed as divine, really in a way like that the apostles had never seen him before. And then the Eucharist, in which he reveals the meaning of his death will be salvific, is what the Eucharist reveals. It reveals the meaning of the Paschal mystery. And so all of these things are really like revelations of Jesus to us about who he is as Lord, who he is as Savior, who he is as the powerful one that we can trust on, rely on, who he is as King, who he really is as the light of the world, hence the luminous mysteries, and that he has come to overpower the darkness. And now here we are, right, in little O, and we just kind of had the Feast of the Presentation, right, which is the Feast of Light. It's a Candlemas. It's Jesus. We have the temple, the candles in the temple. The light is another revelation of Jesus. Simeon recognizes Jesus. Anna recognizes Jesus. He's revealed to the world. And now it's almost like this gospel is like the past. It's not that the torch is being passed in a way that Jesus is not going to be part of this, but he has been revealed as the light of the world. That's what Epiphany is about. And now, as we are in little O, it's about how he's asking us to share that mission as the light of the world. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's like he revealed himself to us, but now he's asking his disciples to reveal themselves.
Yeah, to be the light of the world with him.
Yeah.
So like all of those things, all of those luminous mysteries are things that we contemplate, and they tell us that Jesus is the light of the world, the hope of the world, the thing in which the one who brings the kingdom, the one who we trust in, of course, given to us by the Pope of Hope. He is the light of the world. And now on this Sunday, we are being asked not only to contemplate Christ as the light of the world, but to share Christ as the hope of the world. So it's like the active move from the contemplative to the active. Now I'm being kind of professorial here. I know this is all like out here. I'm a little sick. I'm a little sick. Like the brain synapses are maybe, firing in weird directions. I don't know, but
you're leaning towards absent-minded professor right now.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I love the idea that ordinary time asks us to move from contemplation to action, and this gospel asks us to move from contemplation to action.
I think like the way you walked through that, there is something here about it got me excited.
Good.
Because you led to this like hype up moment, right? Like, okay, like it started you're just repeating all the things we know because we've been going to Mass and we've been seeing this. But then as you started to like talk about how these tie together and bring in the luminous mysteries and Christ has revealed himself to us. Great. We know that. And then, but that last piece, there is a piece there of like the flip the script of, and now it's our turn. And
you
now
are the light of the world.
Like he's putting this on to us, and like you're being called to this.
The luminous mysteries are drilling into our head that he is the light of the world, and now he is saying to us, "You are the light of the world."
Yeah, this is there's a real opportunity here for some good like pound your fist preaching in like a really awesome way of like grab the attention there at the end of like, now it's you, like it's us. We're called to this. That's And, I like that.
And then you go back to that first reading, which you summed up so poetically,
Thank you.
The light breaks forth like the dawn when we share the bread with the hungry, shelter the oppressed and the homeless, clothe the naked. So how are we to be the light of the world? It's right there in the first reading.
Yeah. Like we're being asked to break forth in the dawn, right?
Yeah.
Like to break through the darkness. And then the idea that it can be as simple as like break bread with the poor.
Yep.
Right? Like it's laid out for us. It's just laid out. I don't know. Yeah. Like
when you do that, the light breaks into the world and the darkness does not overcome it.
I kind of love in the Gospels when Jesus gets like analogy heavy like this. Like, you know, there are plenty of times where we get a parable and we get a dive in, but the fact that he's just hitting the same analogy, but over and over in different versions of it, I love very, very much. Also, I like for much of my life, I had like, I know it talks about it in this gospel, so it's probably true, but I had no idea that salt could lose its taste. We might be easing into dumb questions here, but I was like, I never, that always made no sense to me because I was like, salt is salty. How does it not salt? But yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things those ancient people knew.
Yes.
That I do not. Like what a bushel basket is.
Yeah. What is yeah, get professorial on us with that one. I don't know it's just a basket, right? I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is, but we shouldn't hide our light under it. That's what I know.
Yeah. It's for bushels, not for lights.
If somebody ever asked me to define a bushel basket, I think I would say it's the thing that you should not hide your light under. No, I think that's great. Like, that's a good hunt. Now I'm like, I mean, we do this podcast every week and I get excited, but I'm kind of genuinely looking forward to hearing like, what do I hear this weekend?
Good.
In the homily. Like that's exciting. All right. Are you ready for dumb questions?
Sure.
Or is there anything else you want to?
No.
Do we miss any other points here?
No. Any
other strange directions?
Still at the point of brainstorming, obviously. So that's all I got.
Yeah, let's pull the curtain back. It is late Friday afternoon. Father is 26 hours from the first mass that he's going to say.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, dumb questions. Well, not even just dumb questions, but I told you, I thought you would be, of all people, you'd be very excited to hear about baby Leo Thomas.
Yeah.
I know, I don't know many bigger Pope Leo hype men than you.
Yeah.
People more excited. And I did want to tell you, I was up in Michigan last weekend and we drove back by.
You did?
Yeah.
Were you able to see anything new there?
No, not at all. No, it was all snowed in, so it was harder to, like, there wasn't much we could do. But
we are talking about the place Pope Leo went to high school.
Yeah, the site where he went to high school happens to be right near where my daughter is in school. So, and she has gone there with some of her friends. I dropped a pin for her one day.
Does she like the school?
She is loving it. She loves it up there. She loves Michigan. She loves Hope. She loves, all of it.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah. Okay, but so we have baby Leo Thomas. Very excited about him. Pray for the Williams family, everyone, and just prayers of joy. Super exciting for them. But let's talk about the Holy Father, Leo the 14th, which here's a side note to a side note. I don't know if you've heard of this, but the city of Chicago does competitions where you can name their new plow trucks every year. And then they have a like interactive map where you can watch their plow trucks around the city, but the names are on the plow trucks. And I saw the list this year of like the 25 nominees, and one was Pope Frio the 14th. I thought it was very funny.
Frio,
like Frio, like freezing, like cold. It's all the plow trucks. It's like play on word stuff. Like, yeah. Anyway.
Do you think I like puns?
Scott would have thought that was funny. Insert Scott laugh track here.
Yeah. Do you think I like puns, Jeff? If you had to guess, do you think I like puns?
Pope Leo recently shared with us that he started talking about the year of St. Francis.
Okay.
What do you know anything about this? I don't know a lot about it, but I wanted to ask you about it. I thought maybe
this is the first I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he talked about, I don't know much about it. This is teaser. Okay. I'll try to come back with more information next week, folks. But yeah, I heard that it's being announced that we're gonna have a year of St. Francis of Assisi.
That's probably because of some millennial anniversary, right?
I don't know.
So
maybe
or 800 years or something, like 1226. I'm guessing. I don't know. I bet it has something to do with an anniversary of St. Francis' life. Anyway, okay. But I don't know any more about it. And I'm
all right.
talking.
Well, leave it to the Benedictines to ignore the Franciscans.
Yeah.
Just kidding. All right. I have other questions. Oh, you were talking about Candlemas.
Yeah.
This is just dumb observations from Jeff. But have you ever thought it's funny that Candlemas usually ends up like we have Candlemas and then we do the Feast of St. Blaise. So it's like Candlemas and then a mass with candles and throat blessings.
And then we turn them into weapons.
Yeah, which I saw a thing the other day that was a metal contraption so that can be used so that you can do a throat blessing with the candles lit.
Yeah.
That like the candles go in and then it shields the neck and hair.
Yeah.
And you put it up to the, like, I think that's hysterical. But
yeah.
How quick are you at your St. Blaise blessing? That's my real question for you.
I'm not that quick.
No?
No. I've already forgotten it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
some priests have that memory. You ask them any day of the year and they know what it is. I have to go back and remember what it was every year.
I was at a
through the
conference.
intercession of St. Blaise, Bishop and Martyr, may the Lord free you from every disease of the throat and every other ailment. Something like that.
Something like that.
I did say it a lot.
Yes, I imagine.
I did one time have the opportunity to give the St. Blaise blessing on a day other than February 3rd, like just in the middle of the summer.
Why? Can you just do it whenever?
Why not? Somebody had a throat disease.
You were like, let me grab my candles.
And I was like, let's do the blessing of St. Blaise.
I can see you also going in and like grabbing like 2 backup huge like Easter candle size candles and like crossing them across somebody's shoulders, and you would love that.
100% accurate. Not full on Paschal candles, but
you got 2 of the biggest ones you could find.
We'll just use whatever candles I can find. And sometimes they're like Yankee candles, like
they're just tea lights that you're just like barely Yankee candles. That's so funny. No, I was at a conference this weekend, or the beginning of this week. And so the Feast of St. Blaise was while we were at the conference. So we were in a room. There was a handful of priests there, and 2 of the priests were doing the blessing. And the priest who was in charge, who's a priest, I'll share his name when we get off of here. But he told everybody, come up 2 by 2, and we'll basically we'll hit you both with the candles, and then we'll do one blessing, and that'll help us move through the room quicker. So it was like an evenly distributed room, but he got up there and just was like blazing, lack of a better term, just flying through, so much so that like he got done and there was still half of the other side, and then he went over and was like, scoot over, and just started moving through. It was just very funny to watch 2 very distinct styles where he was like, we're going to do this and do it well, but we're going to do it quickly. And the other priest, God bless him, like amazing, but so intentional. And so
right. Yeah.
And then he's like very like solemnly like saying this blessing, and then the other priest comes over and is like, if you say Blaise, just starts blowing through it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Well, it's hard to make that balance between the necessity of getting through, so many people in a timely fashion sometimes, and like keeping it prayerful, that's a tough. So, you get one priest, but no, it is, I think it's a little bit of a hard thing to balance. So I can see how people
that's fair.
Come out on different sides of that.
Different approaches. I think if we've established anything on this podcast is that there's different approaches to things.
Oh, for sure.
None of them wrong. Well, some wrong, I'm sure, but most not. In the world of these blessings, so you're talking about like doing like ripping out a St. Blaise blessing middle of the summer.
Sure.
What are some other, what are your favorite like odd blessings that you are aware exist and you like to just like bring out when the opportunity presents itself that most people wouldn't think of?
I mean, I guess the 2 things come to mind, and they're like with boys and young men. Like I've really had fun like blessing a skateboard or like a moped. Awesome. Because the blessing in the Book of Blessings is just like for a vehicle. So when I did college campus ministry, or we have a parish high school youth ministry, actually they use the house that's right next to mine. So, that's just fun. Like,
yeah,
the kids sometimes they'll just ask me almost as a joke, Father, can you bless my moped? And I'm like, actually, yes. And I get out,
let's do it.
And so that's kind of fun.
Give me some candles.
The other one is, which I've done more, is like, I think meaningful way, is when I was in a guy's dorm at the college level, we had blessing of the beards. And and that was fun.
I thought for a second you said blessing of the beers, and I was like, I don't think those are supposed to be in the dorm.
Beards. So yeah, to like do a blessing of the beards. And there's like stuff from St. Clement of Alexandria, which is, it's like he almost has a theology of the beard. And so like you do readings from St. Clement of Alexandria, and then you bless beards. But it's really like just a way to bless them in their manhood, and like, you know, to say, hey, this is a gift from God and we want you to use it well, and here's a God extends his favor upon you, young man, as a young man. So I've liked doing that too.
So on Feast of St. Blaise, did you have somebody do your throat blessing?
Yes, but I forgot to this year.
That's what I was going to ask, is like, I watched it almost happen at the mass I was at, and I thought, man, I'll bet there are a lot of priests that just get cooking and they forget about it.
Yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah.
But and now you're sick. You need to get Father over there.
Maybe I should get one. It's not like Ash Wednesday where, you know, you're reminded all day long if you haven't got your ashes yet.
That's because you're supposed to be able to tell by the burn marks just right under people's jaws.
Always forget my ashes at the first mass, you know. So
let's see. I think that's about it. I did want, so this is more just general announcements to the fans of the podcast, but nothing. No, I'm just saying shout outs. Okay. Shout outs at the end of the, don't worry. We're not like canceling things, right? Just, even though I'm sure we'll lose a lot of listeners with me not being on here. Actually, everybody listening, just in case Scott doesn't, and this will be funny, if you all can just like put this podcast, like turn the volume down and put it on repeat. Let's just max out streams on this thing and share it with people. Let everybody know, like have other people listen to it. I want to be able to just be like, Scott, this is weird. This is like the highest performing podcast we've ever had. So everyone, please share this out. Ask people to give it a listen, download it. Hopefully it was good. No, I wanted to shout out one. When I was at that conference this week, I was in a conversation with somebody, and this woman I was talking to said, you seem very familiar, and I can't figure out why. And I was like, I've been around the conference for a long time. You know, I've been at these events and things, and we were talking and talking. She goes, wait a second, do you do a podcast? And I said, I do. And she was like, oh my gosh, I do. I recognize your voice. She was like, my husband listens to your podcast every week and I hear it. He listens to it on Sunday mornings while he's getting ready, and I hear it, your voice every week. And I was like, well, you're welcome. I'm glad that I can bless your Sunday mornings. But anyway, it was a fun reminder that people actually listen to this thing. So thank you to all of you who listened to it. I also want to shout out my daughter, Lydia, shared with me that a friend of hers, parents are fans of the podcast. So I want to give a shout out to the Stoyers and say, whether you wanted your child to tell my daughter or not, she did. They did. But I appreciate you guys listening, and come say hi to me the next time we're around show choir or something like that. We get a chance to see each other. But anyway,
all right.
That's mostly it. Father, any other words of wisdom for us? No? Oh, the last thing I was going to ask you about your book of blessings. Is the book of blessings the same one you use? Is that what you use for baptism, or is there a baptism book?
No, it's a different book.
It's a different book.
A lot of places they're both blue, so they do kind of look alike.
That's what I was going to say. I'm very excited. One of the things, this is a weird thing that I get very excited about, but well, it's not weird that I love baptisms. I love baptisms. I think they're great. I think it's like the most beautiful and amazing thing. But part of why I love baptisms is after the baptism, smelling a baby's head, because man, do I love that.
That's what
but then I learned at some point that your baptism books end up smelling like that. And I remember we were talking to somebody, a priest, who said, oh, it's great. Every once in a while, I'll just grab my baptism book and give it a smell. That's why I was going to ask.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, you should do more baptisms. Maybe that's the issue.
Okay.
Maybe in general, we should just baptize more people. Anyway. All right. Thank you, Father. I appreciate you very much.
Okay.
All God bless you. Thanks for being here.
God bless you. Yep.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
It's alright, cause I'm all set for. It's alright, cause I'm all set for. It's alright, cause I'm all set for Sunday.